My family thinks that this program is like really great for me because I get to know places that they've never been, and I can actually live them and come and tell them what I've done and how cool is it to be in a place far away from your home.
This week has been probably the best of the 3 years that we've worked with the guys, to see the teamwork that they've employed. We've put them in situations where they've had to work as a team, and they've really responded well.
Some of the principles that we instill in the kids are really based around a framework, a leadership framework. We call it the ACES framework, and it's an acronym. A is
you're action-oriented, you have moral and physical courage to do stuff. You're an excellent teammate. You have each other's back, and and that you're a strong communicator. You know what to say and when to say it.
The Explore program is all about trying to get people to be more of leaders in the community and trying to get them to get along with each other and work as a team to accomplish something they want.
some of the biggest changes I've noticed are what started out as a lot of teasing and insecurity in the group, some cliques in the group, has sort of turned into kind of brotherly teasing and almost kind of celebrating their differences. They still give each other a hard time, but at the end of the day, they realize they're all in this together and they stick up for each other, which is, I'm really proud of that.
Communication skills have definitely increased. They look you in the eye when they have a conversation with you. They give you a firm handshake when they first meet you. Their voice is a little bit more projected when you have a conversation with them. You see these guys really stepping up, and they take control. They take a necessary action where necessary action is needed, and that's a big difference from where we were 3 years ago.
I think like some of the things we have learned in the different trips we've taken are team building and not giving up.
Well, the difference between a person in Explorer and one that's not, if you're an Explorer, you actually feel like you're doing something to make yourself better.
Someone who is in the program would probably be like more, they would have more morals and have more like standards and be more mature.
We get a lot of help from our mentors, and we also learn how to work more as a team and how to get things done as a team, not only as individuals.
They don't want to take turns 3 or 4 at a time doing the dishes. They like all getting together and cranking out the dishes in 12 minutes as a group.
It's not something that they enjoy doing, but seeing them define a strategy to get it done, assign roles and responsibilities to get it done, and take care of it is a far stretch from where we started a couple of years ago.
I feel lucky to be part of this program because all of the things that we get to do that like everyone else doesn't get to do that much.
Some of the things like we have done are
Kayaking. We've been kayaking from one island to another.
we play games, like challenges to work as a team.
Over the last 5 days, we've paddled roughly 30 to 40 miles, and a lot of those miles were done against the current. There were some waves, a lot of whitecaps and tough winds. One of the days being a 6-hour day, and it was a slog.
We're learning. It's about like perseverance because when you're paddling for all day long, you gotta learn not to quit. And so because if you quit, your partner has to work twice as hard, and that it also hurts in your shoulders, but you still gotta keep on going.
The feeling of, you know what, I can do this. You know, it's as hard as it is, I can do this if I just put my mind to it and push myself outside my comfort zone. That's when I'm gonna grow. And I think that's what's really become apparent with these guys.
I think the hardest thing we've done this week is paddling from island to island. Even though the current's going faster than us, we try so hard to get to the other island, and we eventually get there, but I think it's worth it.
I'm extremely satisfied with how the program has come along. we've put them in some situations this week where they were at a point of no return and they were physically exhausted and they had no choice but to move forward, and they couldn't quit or they'd be stuck out in the middle of the ocean. I wasn't quite sure they would respond the way they did this week. That was a true sign that things are really moving along with these guys.
To be out on the open water and have to look up ahead and say it's not that island that we're going to that we see in the distance, but it's one behind it, where they have to hunker down and really recognize they're going to be in the boat for a while and they need to keep going. I think there's a tremendous sense of accomplishment in hearing you guys talk about it, and the fact that they recognize that they've put in a lot of miles this week, I think really increases that self-esteem that they passed the physical test, and I think they also really recognize the mental challenge that they passed this week also.
These kids will see themselves as mentors for other kids in the future. Might not hit them right away, but I think down the line, even in their own parenting, 10 years from now.
But I think this environment, and when I say this environment, putting them in nature, where it's uncomfortable. They have challenges in front of them.
When I was a teenager, a pretty awkward time in my life, I had a pretty amazing experience in the summers in the great outdoors, and most of it was through camp, and I learned a lot from it.
The mentors are really cool. I like them. We've really gotten to know each other a lot over the past 3 years, and it's like a bond. I didn't really have a specific father figure, and that helped me with Jamie and Rusty, and Todd helped. I kind of like that.
What I would like the kids to get out of it is the skills and tools that they need to be leaders in their own communities.